the headline's just a lie, and there is no standard in journalism. There's no standard. There has to be a standard. How about you start?
Low.
How about you start with a standard for journalism? Journalism got everything wrong about COVID. They get everything wrong about Russiagate. They get everything wrong about the Iraq War, the Libyan War, the Afghanistan War, and the Ukraine War. They still won't tell people how it started and why. They got everything wrong. Everything. They got the biggest story of their life wrong, COVID. They got ivermectin wrong. They got the vaccine transmission contraction wrong. They got where the virus came from, who funded the virus. They got everything wrong. They got lockdowns wrong. They got masks wrong. There wasn't a thing they didn't get wrong. You know who got it right?
The Really Woke Show.
Now I'm already here. It's got to be Mamacita.
Hey, Mamacita. It's Mamacita. Would you agree at this stage? Would you agree? Having been there yourself, anyone who's thinking to get involved in this, what's this absolute SH1T show that's going on the streets, what would your advice to be after being out on the roads for a good few weekends in a row? What would your advice to be anyone that wants to get involved in BLM on the streets and all of that? What would your first bit of advice be?
I would honestly say, like, research on who's organized that protest before you turn up. This last one that I went to, I surprisingly recognized actually a couple of faces from the very first protest we saw.
Yep.
You remember when I just jumped on mobile and I headed off? I saw a lot of familiar faces that from the first protest, including a person who was on the PED, or leading the first protest into God knows what. But with the other two, for example, the one on last weekend, it felt like that was a real protest, but there was still an agenda behind it, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So I would just say, just do a little bit of research as to who's organizing it, and just be cautious because you honestly don't know what could play out. Like, for example, with the EDL, I had no idea. Like, when I got home and saw the footages that my friends were posting online, I could have just walked into that. And they're all a bunch of racist people. So God knows what would have happened to me.
Yeah, totally. Realistically speaking, I feel like for someone that just feels like for someone this weekend that felt that they wanted to go out and peacefully protest, how did you see that play out this weekend? Did you see people being able to, did you see what you kind of saw last weekend?
It wasn't a protest. At the very beginning when I got to Marble Arch, that was a little speech protest if you want. I did catch it on videos, them saying, we're sending everyone home now. So whoever turned up at Trafalgar Square, God knows who they were. They weren't part of the group that I saw earlier at Marble Arch. They were a totally different group. And my question as well.
Starting off the video from now, to let you know, I'm starting it off just now. So
yeah,
it's
so here, this I literally just rocked up at Marble Arch. These people were here, and then there's a bit of content I got earlier, but this is just before they got onto the station, and I jumped on the wheel and carried on to Trafalgar. Got to Trafalgar, and these lot were here. So I was like, okay, and I thought it was EDL initially, but it's not. All of these people down here at the square, they're all Black Lives Matter protesters, including the ones on the other side. But then in the video, you can hear them chanting like football sort of chants. So it sounded like it was EDL.
Right. Yeah,
so it was really confusing.
That's something I was looking into as well today. I want to maybe get onto it. The title you popped up there is exactly what the deep state wants. BLM versus the EDL. It's exactly
But I put a question mark because I didn't. Yeah, there wasn't a if anything, it was the police versus EDL and the police versus BML. There wasn't a clash between EDL and BML, and you will see that in the footage. You don't see them. It sounds like they're having a clash, as in a couple of instances, but it's not. It really isn't, and I'll explain that as we go on. So there was a lot of this going on where the police are like running up down the street and then blocking off the road, stopping people from getting into the square, but for no reason. There wasn't really like a logical reason behind them running up and blocking off the road there.
Do you reckon it was more to show a sign of force?
It, you know what it felt like to me? It felt like a training exercise. So, honestly, I kid you not, it felt like they were doing some sort of training exercise because they would just, out of nowhere, you would just see a whole bunch of police officers running up, blocking the road, you know, shouting out their commands and doing certain things, and then nothing. Like literally nothing happened afterwards. You'll see in a moment that's when we ended up in Leicester Square. And again, the same kind of I don't even know what to call it, but the same kind of facade about EDL being there when they weren't really there. They
So
were
there's
literally
lots of
chasing
normal
themselves.
people as well that are obviously there to voice and just show their face to say, I'm with this in it. But there, like I said, there appears to be a lot of coordinated. That group seemed to be going in a purpose. That was a lot of people rushing in one direction. Yet otherwise, people are meandering. Even like earlier on when you were in the square,
Yeah,
people were just meandering. That was a
that's basically what it was, and it just felt like there's a handful of people who were pushing the crowds into certain things, like shouting, "There they are! There's EDL!" But when you get to there, there's no EDL there. It's just, and this is the part.
so what
Honestly,
what.
this is,
Well, that's interesting, Asita. Why
I
why
don't
are
know.
you
This is why.
running at the EDL? What do you think?
Well,
What are you running at the EDL for? I wouldn't
well,
want to be at the front of that gang. Do you know what I mean?
nobody
Because
would want to.
no, you're
It's
facing a lot of
crazy.
angry young men who are white, just like there appears to
So,
be
right,
at the
you see
gangs
these
that
two,
are chasing.
just really quick. Rox, pause the video, rewind it back slightly, and just pause the video.
Yeah, no worries. No
Sorry,
worries.
Carrie and
far
Adam,
back?
just to cut as here, pause it right here. Sorry,
Yeah.
Adam, can you finish explaining what you were saying?
Yeah, so there appears to be a lot of young black, a lot more. Look at that. I can see one white. This appears to be, for me, the biggest concern that the deep state is building. It's I relate it again to a lot of the Islamophobia we've heard. It's how you can conjure up a purpose in life for disaffected youth, and this appears both on both sides what they're chasing. There's a couple of white guys, yeah.
Right, pause it
Disaffected
here.
youth.
This is these are the two that I want to talk about, but just pause it
Yeah.
here. Sorry, carry on, Adam.
Oh, that's it for me. This is the crux of what's being played out right now is disaffected youth. What would I'd hate to be in London. It's a blob, do you know what I mean? But I just wonder what life is like, and if you are given a passion. And like I say, I look at some of the bullshit I listen to that Muslims are bad, yeah. And I know good men that hold daft views, and I know good black men and good white men that hold daft views, and I often wonder to myself, why are these views here? And they're forced onto us by the society that is trying to get us to fight over this little matter. And all I see here is exactly that. It's two sides of the controlled sheep that are played so hard that they can get them running across town trying to chase each other.
He's on job. Look, he doesn't look worried in the slightest, does he? Why? Because yeah.
He just
brazen.
looks
Brazen.
I don't know.
Everyone's brazen here. Yeah, you're getting eyeballed differently, Asita. Like everyone's having a good gander at you. Yeah, the Most High has got you covered, babe.
I'll tell you what, right? I wouldn't have been able to do that.
Neither would I. I'll tell you that much right now.
Like,
well, they all just came towards me. I was like, oh shit.
Yeah,
I was following them. I was following them on the bridge, and I thought we were heading somewhere. And then all of a sudden, they all just turned around at me, and I'm like, oh shit! So I just stood there with the camera and just stood still, because I didn't know what to do in that situation. I didn't know where they were heading.
That's
see red boy makes sure he's pulled his bandana. Can't be recognized.
Like they're having to walk round you, like you're just standing there and holding your ground.
I was just like,
I think all of the chat room can agree with us here. Some pretty powerful shots you've taken over the weekend. Like I said, you're in a league of your own, Asita. You're in a league of your own.
thank you.
You know,
Honestly, I when I watched the footage back, I was like, holy shit.
hold on.
You know,
Whoa. I know that girl. We all know that
which
girl.
one?
That one right in the middle of the shot right now. Yep. You know who she is. All of you that watch Speaker's Corner. Do you remember the girl that went roly roly on the ground?
Yes. Oh my God.
No,
about
you're
that?
gonna have to fill me in on this one. What?
That's
Catch
the
me
same
outside. How about
thing. I'm
that?
having a little temper tantrum. I'm not
Catch me
doing.
outside. How about that? Yeah, we'll get the footage for you on Wednesday, guys and gals. We'll show you.
I'll put it in some
You'll have to
context,
film.
Rox.
She's
Yeah,
known.
because
She's known at Speaker's Corner. She's an agitator at Speaker's Corner that's been bungled into the back of a police van more times than I've had hot dinners this year. Yeah. But she's screaming to wait for her dad, telling everyone waiting for her dad. And do you remember the boy that she used to go there with, Rich? It's all starting to make sense now, sunshine. Do you remember the only way is Essex boy that she used to go there with?
Yes.
Yeah, man. On job, Asita.
Funny, eh? Isn't it funny? Amongst
And there's that girl that we saw in the other one.
thousands and thousands of people, she just happens to walk right in front of the camera, man. You can't.
Do you know what?
You
You know
can't
what? On
make
that
this-
note, a couple of people that I need to message on Instagram with this. Hold on, I just need to take a picture. You could
can't.
You
I can't
can,
believe
yo,
I just caught someone that you lot know.
camera. Smile for the camera, girl. You got caught. You took your
Wow.
mate. You know what? Play stupid games. What do you get?
What?
You win stupid prizes. You took your mask off, B. You should have kept your mask on and kept your shades on and your hat on, and maybe you would have got past us. But you know what? You baited yourself out. Rolling with the homie. Oh, wow.
I'm quite excited to hear about this story.
Yeah. This one here, see this girl here?
Yeah.
Dodgy. I've seen her in 2 of your other shots as well. And every time I'm seeing her, she's always got people like this behind her. And you know what? Nigel showed us what's been going on across the channel the last few weeks. I think if you know what I'm talking about in the chat room, put 2 and 2 together, work out what I'm saying here. Yeah? Do you remember what Nigel was reporting on for the last 3-4 weeks?
Yeah.
What the French Navy should have been doing, and they weren't. They were doing illegal handovers. I wonder where all these people came from. It's starting to make sense now. Asita, I don't think you realise what you've done by taking this footage.
Probably not.
I'm telling you.
Not the full scope of it yet. Not yet.
Wow. So many people. Yeah.
I think it's just a lovely shot. Otherwise, you know,
Sorry?
historically, it's a great shot. I see it. You know, just of people marching at this time. Yeah, you get over there and watching people's faces as they pass you. It's very different, look.
Mm.
Yeah. But respect, mate. Yeah, you.
I can't take the smile off my face, man.
That guy is drinking straight vodka. That boy. They're getting liquored up and all sorts. They're getting given free alcohol.
They were all drinking. They were
Syrup
all drinking the
out of the
whole
bottle.
day.
He's waved. He is wet. Hello, sorry.
What the fuck is that?
Hey, hold on. Did he come in a time machine?
That's the same one.
Who wears Umbro shell suits anymore? Continuity. Fuck up. Wait, that's a continuity mess up. What's going on here?
That's been bought in a different country, maybe.
I've seen a show on BBC. What was it? Some people just do nothing. Has anyone ever seen Some People Just Do Nothing?
Yes.
My man. Yeah, that's who it is. That's it. That's where I've seen him before. Good on him.
It's even that old Harry Anfield's you crazy Russian chicks.
That glasses. That is a look in it. That is a proper look. He's going for that. He's got the gold chain on and everything.
He's been out and bought a new Umbro top like that.
Owning the look, bro. He's owning it.
You got to respect that.
Nothing quite cuts it that we're going to be able to say for what Asita's just shown us. I've put a link in the chat room for you all. I'd implore you to make sure you've subscribed to Asita's channel. It's called Goddess Nut. Make sure you've subscribed and make sure you hit the notification bell a couple of times and press it to all so that you get notified every time she uploads content. Because as I said, you're not going to see content like that anywhere else. That's exclusively on her channel, as it's exclusively filmed by Asita herself.